Alright, I'm back again, and this is going to be kind of a twofer, because I started to record a video over the weekend. I actually recorded it, and I never decided to post it. I just wasn't happy with it. First, for the more pressing thing, son of a bitch. Pardon the language. The United States, I believe, is announcing no longer accepting Russian gas, so gas prices have been going up. I just stopped to top off my tank, and I just saw there's a place, I believe, just right down the street, if I'm reading it right, is 10 cents cheaper than what I got it for. If that's so, Exxon, way to go, you're not gouging prices. But yeah, that's kind of the thing. If you could use a few gallons, you might want to go ahead and get it. Now, I do foresee it stabilizing, gas prices going down and stabilizing a bit in the next couple of weeks. Yeah, I could have saved 10 cents on the gallon if I stopped there. Crap. There's a Shell station across the street from the Exxon that's $3.89. I could have saved 20 cents on a gallon. But there's a gas station right next to it, a Citgo, that is for $4.19, and I paid $4.09. So yeah, a few places are definitely price gouging. Don't be afraid to shop around. Support the ones that are not gouging prices, because they're cutting into their personal profits to be decent and treat people in a reasonable way. If I had known that Exxon or that Shell station were at the prices they were, $3.99 and $3.89 respectively, I would have stopped there instead. But oh well. Didn't know that until I got a little further down the road. So yeah, that's the big ball of wax. Try and save yourself $1 if you don't hoard gas. But, you know, if you could use a few gallons in your tank, top it off, and a couple of weeks things ought to settle down down Ukraine way, and make life between Russia and Ukraine, that will make life easier, hopefully. The other thing I want to talk about is, well, let me get back. I'm flustered today, but I would like to throw out how much of what's going on right now with Russia and Ukraine and the surging gas prices and everything else, how much of that is to do with Russia and Ukraine solely and wholly, and you know, how much of it does it have to do with passing the buck to Russia, onto Russia. I'd also wonder how much of what's going on with Russia has to do with poor proper planning on the part of our leaders in Washington, D.C. Something to mull over. Now, I'm going to change the subject and get to what I was going to post about over the weekend, but decided not to. And I'll throw up a picture for a thumbnail. Both here, or both on YouTube and on BitChute, because this will go on both places. I was at the store, and you know, I'd spent all week after the State of the Union being told by all these leaders, I think Chuck Schumer, how the economy's bounced back, how strong we are, how healthy we are. So I went to the grocery store, and the cat food section had a lot of empty space. A lot of the refrigerated stuff, like refrigerated cookies and stuff, was largely empty. So I went to freezer goods, largely empty, like the section that has the freezer biscuits and the breakfasts and frozen dinners like your trays of lasagna and whatnot. Completely empty. Nothing there. The coolers were running, there were tags, but it was all completely empty. The little, like, waist-high units for my local places, they will put, like, chicken strips and whatnot. Which, by the way, didn't have any chicken strips. It was empty. The chicken area, and meat in general, was greatly diminished. Very little variety. You want me to believe the economy is doing so well, yet the grocery store can't even get salad mixes, shredded lettuce, things like that. And they say we can't get it. Don't come at me and tell me how great we're doing when I can see with my own eyes we're not doing that great. When gas prices are 2 times what they were a year ago, and we're already getting close to being double what they were a year ago before Russia and Ukraine blew up. Don't tell me we're doing great. Don't tell me we're doing great when inflation is, 7, 8, 9, 10%. Don't insult my intelligence like that, people. Personally, I think every politician who has stood up and made such comments, at least the last year, should be drummed out of office immediately. No questions asked. Because that's a blatant lie. Folks, I've said it many times before, at this point, I'm convinced we're downhill slope. Look at, like, the fall of the Roman Empire. That alone should tell you something. History is showing that fate is not on the side of the United States at this point in time. And there are ways that we might be able to fix it. But the thing is, the things that would have to be done to fix and as I've said this many times before, the things that would have to be done to fix the, like, 30 trillion in debt and climbing by the second, to fix the inflation, trade deficits, so on and so forth, the things we would have to do, the vast majority of Americans would not want to do. They wouldn't want to make those levels of sacrifices. And I'm being realistic with this, but when I think of some of the things we would have to either cut way back on or do away with entirely, I'm not sure I would. Like, it would be a little uncomfortable even for me, not gonna lie. And I don't think I take any government benefits. About the only thing I get from the government is my so-called tax return, if I get one this year. And I say that because I don't know what my employer did. I'm assuming they took taxes out this year instead of thinking I'm tax exempt, but I don't want to give them that much credit. But yeah, it's going to get worse instead of better, and especially if we keep voting the same jokers into office, and until they get serious about making cuts and cutting back on government spending and all these things, which are issues, there's no shot at things getting better. So, yeah, like I said, top off your tanks. If you don't need to drive for a few days, maybe don't. You know, if just a thought. You know, in the crypto world where I'm trying to get into, which is another reason why I'm not sure if I'm getting a tax return, they say we're all going to make it. I forget, it's like wag me or something, wag me, whatever, some sort of hashtag abbreviation. But it translates to we're all going to make it, basically. I don't think everyone will. We are seeing layoffs. There was a mortgage company, I'm on LinkedIn, there was a mortgage company on there announced that they're laying off like 3,000 people. Home mortgage companies are doing mass layoffs at a time when you can just go in and basically have bidding wars on houses going up for sale. Folks, the housing bubble's about to burst, explode too. It's not going to burst, it's just going to freaking explode. If you think 2008 to 2009 was rough, get ready. Bend over and take it is all I gotta say. Anyway, on that note, I'm going to hop off here. Let me know what you think. Good luck.